So, hello guys, hello, and welcome to the first official Premier League, Premier League UCL match preview of the season. And guys, I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited to be back in the big leagues, man. They're back in the big competitions, fighting with Europe's best teams. Yeah, we're ready. We're here. We're trying to win this thing, man. I can't lie. Listen, first time back. We'll see what's going to happen. But for now, we're here and we're ready to get this thing going. So, firstly, if you're new, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the like button, slap it up, man. Make sure you're hitting the likes. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're coming up in the chat, talking. And let's get right into this, man. So, firstly, I want to introduce the panel, two gentlemen that are going to be joining me today to talk about the game. And I'm going to start off with the debutant to the channel. I'm going to start off with my boy Matt, who has his own channel, the BOTN Back of the Net podcast. And I'm going to bring him on. Let's go, man.
Yes.
What's up, broski? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Just like you, I'm excited, man. I'm seeing the first games today. I'm like, come on, like, it's our turn tomorrow. Long time coming.
Yeah, 100%, bro. It's a long time coming, but I've been waiting. I've been waiting for these, honestly. Guys, I'm going to introduce my second guest, and you guys already know him. He's been on multiple streams with me. Always shows out, always there, ready to talk football. Let's get into it, and let me invite my main man, Rashid, here again on the channel, man. Rashid, how's it going, my brother?
Hello. Yeah, good, man. Son, how you doing? How's everyone doing? You guys all good?
We're all good, man. We're all good, man. We're all good. All good, man. Listen, I'm gassed up,
Excited?
Bro. I can't wait for this, man. I can't wait, man.
Ready?
I can't wait.
Prepped? Ready to go?
Listen,
2017 settings.
Before we enter, I just say Bismillah. I just say Bismillah. I enter, and
Not quite.
Whatever happens after that, inshallah, we'll see. It's in God's hands now. That's it. Listen, I want to get into this because firstly, I want to get into the news about Martinelli because I think that's where I really want to start. That's where I want to start, to be honest. I want to start about Martinelli because I know you guys saw him come off in the game that we played against Everton. So obviously there was a bit worrying signs around that injury. How long is he going to be out for? And I just want to get your thoughts on the injury and just how it affected us during the game as well. And your thoughts on the Everton game as well, if you want to give them as well. Whoever can go first.
Yeah.
Open floor.
I think, do you know what? We all know, like, let's start with the game first of all. Like, we know Everton's a bogey ground. Away anyway. We always beat them at home. It's never stress. I think away from home, it's always that ground where we play well, they get a goal, back against the wall, we don't win. And it's, for me, I looked at this season, and people might think I'm a bit mad, but I was like, we're really serious about winning the league. I don't even want to see a draw at Goodison Park, like, we've got to win the game. And it was nice to know that even with that disallowed goal, we still won the game. And people look at the 1-0 and think, yeah, it was a close game. Listen, I felt once we scored, that was it. Like, they weren't going to get a goal. Declan Rice has made a big difference, and the defense altogether just look a lot more solid. And dare to say it, David Raya, yeah, he didn't have a lot to do, but you could see he kind of brought a lot more confidence with the defense. So all in all, the 3 points was massive. A blow with the Martinelli injury, but I think, I'm not sure about you guys, but I read that he'll miss the game tomorrow, but he may make the North London derby. For me personally, I'd let him rest that North London derby. I don't want anything that's going to affect him in the long run because we need him. It's a long season, and we've got Trossard, who will get into the goal, I'm sure. Fantastic goal. So yeah, no, I think all in all, good game. Downer about the injury, but listen, we won 3 points. That's all that matters, and that's what we need tomorrow.
100%. Rashid, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, so I mean, Martinelli coming off, I think it's a weird one to say. It's great what Arteta said. He said that he thinks there's a possibility for him on Sunday. But I share your sentiments. I think just don't even risk it, because I think we need to learn from previous times where we force players back too early or force players to carry on playing. We can think of players such as Saliba with his back injury last season, and during Timber, really, he shouldn't have come on the second half against Nottingham Forest. So the fact that they took him off as soon as he felt the niggle, that's going to help with the recovery. And I would say that, yeah, this is the other difference really between dealing with the injuries is really down to the personnel. Like you said, with Trossard now available, which wasn't always the case last season. Obviously, we got him in January. There's the depth that we have on the wings, at least on the left-hand side, that we don't need to force Martinelli back. Both of them have some great attributes about them. I think Martinelli is a bit more trickier, dangerous. I feel Trossard is a bit more technical and has obviously a much better finish than Martinelli. And I think Trossard right now is a rich vein of form. And they keep a lot of managers, a lot of coaches talk about moments, and Trossard's in a good moment right now. So what you don't want to do is to snatch that away from him. And I think really there's also quite a good insight into his character, because he got quite a bit of stick for his performance against United. Wasn't the best, but he clearly in the next match shown that he doesn't allow that to affect him. And I think he was really obviously impactful when he came on. So that's a good sign for us when it comes to depth. It's a good sign for us when it comes to the next match, which is obviously tomorrow. So, really, we as fans, we only really get concerned about injuries if we feel that there isn't anyone there as a natural competition. So when it comes to obviously on the other side of the wing with Saka, that would be a lot more of a concern for us. So just in terms of how we are developing as a squad, no one wants to see any of our players injured, but it's good that we have a suitable replacement in Trossard.
I completely agree with you as well. And the thing is with Trossard, and I said this in my match reaction to the Everton game that I put out, which is the fact that we've got Leandro Trossard, and the fact that Leandro Trossard can come on for Martinelli and he gives us a performance like for like, if not even better. I'd say he's even better in front of goal than Leandro Trossard, than Martinelli. So for me, the fact that we can be able to bring in Leandro Trossard for Martinelli is crazy. And I know that he's most probably going to be playing tomorrow. I don't see him playing Reece Nelson in that position. But it's just about how we can manage these games now, because he's gonna have to play. I personally wouldn't risk Martinelli in that North London derby. If he's felt something, you don't want to go and make it worse. So for me, it's all about handling the amount of games that he has and managing how long he plays for. Maybe tomorrow night he plays for, I don't know, like maybe 65 minutes, and then we take him off. We bring on Reece Nelson. Hopefully we should be winning by then. But it's just about managing these games and managing the playtime and managing the injuries that we have. Obviously, now that Martinelli's out, it's unfortunate, and that's a massive miss, especially for the North London derby, because I feel like he's a player who thrives off of big occasions. He thrives off of being in that big game and playing in that big moment. So it's a massive miss to miss Martinelli, but same way Trossard just comes in and fits the bill, man. I can't lie. So when it comes to the performances of Gabriel, I want to speak about as well, because Gabriel in that game, actually, I feel like he showed a new version of himself with Gabriel because he was getting on the ball a lot more. He was trusting himself a lot more. Because normally Gabriel, because I said this also in my preview, which Gabriel normally when he's on the ball, he tries to get out of his feet. If you watch him in games, he tries to get out of his feet ASAP. Bang, out of my feet, out of my feet. He doesn't like to keep the ball, hold on to the ball, maybe run forward. But in that Everton game, I saw him running forward so many times and just trying to get the ball in better positions. And for me, that's Gabriel really trying to improve his game and just become a better player. To be honest, trying to do the Saliba thing that Saliba does. We know Saliba goes and runs into the midfield and tries to progress the ball as well. But I feel like Gabriel's really beginning to become that player as well, where he's trying to come out of his comfort zone and just carry the ball forward, be a bit more confident in his own ball playing ability and stuff like that. What do you guys think about that?
Do you think maybe this is a positive byproduct of him getting on into the Brazil squad finally?
Definitely, I think.
You know, with the Brazil call up, I think that gives him experience because it's his first time that he was called up for Brazil. He started, if I'm not mistaken, he started both games, didn't he? So he started both games. He's clearly a trusted centre back for them if they're starting him for both games. Otherwise, they would have done what they done with Saliba, where he was on the bench and he might get a run in, he might be brought on at half time or something like that. But they started him as a left-footed centre back, so they show confidence in him, and maybe he's then actually helped himself because that if you have a player that's confident, that's one of the best things that can happen to one of your players is a boost of confidence because that brings that helps them because they can then try new things, they can do new stuff. Um, like we saw with Gabriel, come out of the comfort zone. He's trying to do different things. He's trying to improve his game, elevate his game to a next level. And yeah, I think that has a massive effect on him.
I think it speaks to mentality as I think it speaks to his mentality as well. Do you remember the social media post that he sent out after not making the World Cup squad? No bitterness, wishing the boys all the best, knowing, and I think you could read between the lines in those posts. He knew he was good enough, but for whatever reason, wasn't picked, by the coach. So Tite, I think it was, and so he's gone back. He really hasn't dropped his level at all since then. He's done very well in many people's team of the season last season for across the Premier League or very close to that. He again, okay, I think with his mentality as well, not playing the first few matches, being dropped to the bench, not seeming to phase him at all, coming back on the starting lineup, 2 good performances. So yeah, this is it speaks well for Gabriel Magalhaes. So we're very fortunate to have someone of that mentality, and this is the thing that, you know, I'm not sure how much of this can be coached when it comes to a player positioning. You know, obviously you can help building strength in pace and stamina, etc., patterns of play. But when it comes to their personality, their character, I think that's really something that they bring to the table from the beginning, and it's just a case of the circumstances and the environment allowing the best forms of their characters to come out. So maybe that's what we're seeing with Gabriel, both on the international and on the domestic level. So I'm just really excited to see how he brings out that type of level of performance into the Champions League.
100%. Matt, what are your thoughts on Gabriel's performance?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. You know, listen, I don't know if you know, I'm a massive Saliba fan. Saliba's my guy. Yeah, so you know that he's the only one I really give praise to. But you know, with Gabriel, as you said, Syed, he he was like that, where quickly want to get the ball out, and he made the mistakes. We saw games where he would be out of position, he would give away a penalty, he would slip, all of these little things. But I do think what Rashid was saying about that World Cup thing when he didn't get in the squad, that response there just tells you the type of player he is. And he's a type, he just gets on with it on the pitch, just proves the performance. And I can imagine in training, like him and Saliba just making each other better. I think Gabriel is obviously learning from others and in the team and stuff. And I feel when I look at him, he's more the jumps up, gets the headers, the more every centre-back partnership, you need that one defender that's involved in the tackles, the
more hard-hitting physical one.
No, I call him the Arsenal Vidic, man. We got the real Ferdinand, and he's my Vidic.
He's like the left-footed Vidic. So I think he really needs. And we missed him when we tried that little experiment that we won't get into. But no, he's been fantastic, and I feel like the longer we leave him in there with Saliba, we're gonna have, and that settled back four, we're in a very, very good place. Very, very good place.
100%. And another player that I want to touch on, because I was on a space the other day, yesterday, sorry, and I was speaking about it, and I just want to bring up as a topic Eddie Nketiah, because a lot of people say that he didn't play well. I'm on the other hand personally saying I think he played well. I think he didn't do that bad. I think if I just quickly go first, I'm just gonna say, for me, Eddie Nketiah's performance against Everton, although it was cut short with Gabriel Jesus coming on, I feel like Eddie Nketiah, that game was really helping up with the build-up play. He was trying his best. The flicks that he was doing, oh my God. I mean, where did he get this from? This guy think he's Erdogan or something. I was like, what? Is that Eddie Nketiah doing flicks like that? I was like, rah. But to be honest, I think he had a good game. Sometimes it's not just about scoring or assisting, because even then he was getting in good positions. It was just they weren't able to find him with the final pass. And for me, I just thought helping out with the build-up play, being able to try and put yourself in other positions, because he's another player that I feel really elevated his game yesterday, where he was trying to do different things, get out of his comfort zone. He was like, right, let me try sitting deep and see if I can help with the build-up play. Let me Saka's over there with Martin Odegaard. They're trying to pass together. Let me just go over there and be the extra body, give them a pass, an extra pass, because that could help sometimes to creating a goal. He may not be in the middle, but we all know that Trossard tends to drift in when he's on that left side by himself. He will tend to drift into the middle as well and be that man that's in the middle waiting for the ball. So I felt like I just had to give my hats off to Eddie Nketiah yesterday. Although he didn't score a goal and assist, for me, I feel like he still did enough to hold his head high, because I don't think it was a terrible performance. I think he did actually quite well. But what are your guys' thoughts on his performance yesterday?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I feel, with Eddie Nketiah, I'm not going to lie, I was one of the people that were like, sell him, bring back Balogun.
So was I.
You know what I mean? But one thing with Eddie, he just gets his head down. We saw in the documentary the whole thing with Lokonga, where it's like, you know what I mean? Start to get on. And again, when you have players like that, they're going to work hard. Eventually, they will shine in whichever way. And yeah, he does perform well. I think we're a bit spoilt with Gabriel Jesus. I think with Gabriel Jesus, we know how he hassles and how Martinelli plays off with him. So when Gabriel Jesus is not in the squad, we go, Eddie's in. But listen, against Fulham, he did it. He did a job. Everton, I think again, he played well. He didn't score. But with Eddie, I think he is going to hit that point in the season where he starts getting goal after goal after goal, because he's a natural born finisher. So I'm happy with him. And yeah, that performance was good. He didn't score. But I think sometimes we're a bit too harsh with him. I think we just expect too much from him. But no, I'm pleased with how he's done so far. But listen, I'm hearing talks about Ivan Toney. So he might not be staying around for too long.
Well, you know what? That's interesting that you say that, Matt. You know what? For me, Eddie knows exactly what he was getting himself into when he signed that contract with us last season. He knew what he was getting himself into. He went into that with eyes wide open, but he backs himself. Yeah. And for him to be recognised by senior squad national wise England when definitely Ghana were flirting with him big time. There was a massive campaign to try and get him to move allegiances to Ghana. And secondly, sorry, and in addition to that, him, let's not forget, being the under-21s record goal scorer, taking that title from a certain Alan Shearer. Yeah. Not a small, not a mean feat at all whatsoever. I think that Eddie Nketiah sometimes, and with a lot of other players who are not necessarily people's favourites, the work that they do off the ball is not recognised. Someone being a troublemaker, creating spaces for Trossard, so making the defenders have to look over their shoulders once again. Well, where's Eddie here? Those split seconds, being able to give Trossard the space and the time to be able to move into dangerous spaces to create opportunities. This is the type of stuff that I think Arteta absolutely thrives upon when it comes to players and profiles that he's looking for. So, and it kind of answers the question of regards to why Eddie is still with us, because he offers a lot on the ball as well as off the ball. And with Eddie, he's one of those players where he's 24, right? He can definitely improve. He can definitely improve. I expect a 27-year-old Eddie Nketiah to be a lot more prolific, a lot more dangerous, to be a lot more valuable to whichever club he's playing for. So obviously I've heard the news about Ivan Toney as well. But just remember this, at their peak, yeah, Man United had 4 top quality strikers to choose from. Yeah. Fergie did it really well, where he had a blend of youth and experience. He had players who he knew were not going to get in the squad every single game. He had also some young strikers who were not experienced enough and were not consistent enough to be able to have a starting berth. But he was able to blend that in order to make the Red Devils very effective and obviously successful during his period. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal continuing this trajectory. Let's not forget, Arsenal are looking to be playing between 60 to 70 matches this season. Yeah, we want to go deep into every competition, and we want to definitely be able to rotate. So there's going to be enough games for everyone. So I don't think if there is an addition to the front line, someone that's slightly different from the Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah profiles, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the end of Eddie Nketiah's career. It might be slightly different. There might be obviously particular matches that he will not get sniffing, but nonetheless, his mentality, as we can see, and you've said it again in regards to the documentary, I just think that he has a particular mentality that Arteta finds very attractive in a player. Sort of never say die, always going to work hard, backs himself, and whenever there's a challenge, he'll step up to it.
No, 100%. And also just sticking on strikers, because I do want to talk about that, because today news came out, and you guys probably saw it anyway. But news came out today that apparently, if there wasn't a ban on Ivan Toney, we would have gone in for him in the summer, and that just it just the question's there. Like, are we gonna go for him in January? Are we gonna try and get this guy? Because listen, if I'm trying to go get a striker right now, yeah, and I'm trying to get somebody that has the Premier League experience, aerial threat, deadly in front of goal, there's only one man. It's Ivan Toney, man. He's there. He's still.
Penalties.
I think he's
penalties as well.
Listen, the penalties. Listen, I'm telling you right now, yeah. That guy right there, he's only 27, I believe, and just entered his prime. So for me, this is the perfect time to get him, use him up for like 3, 4, 5 years, and even if because he's never really been the pacey striker. So even if he gets to 30, is he going to be completely useless? I don't think so. I think he has the ability and he still has levels to his game because even when I talk about Eddie Nketiah and I talk about strikers and how they should and the evolution of strikers at the moment, I feel like every single striker, especially in the Premier League, should use Harry Kane as the blueprint.
Mm.
You need to use Harry Kane as the blueprint because Harry Kane gave you all. Deadly in front of goal. He penalties, he aced them, all of them. I think he only missed like one or two. And when it came to him doing the build-up play, perfect. He came in, was able to go to the halfway line, pick the ball up from his own half at times, and help with building up the ball. And that's what you want to aim for. That's the kind of trajectory that I want Eddie Nketiah to go through.
Mm.
And that's what I feel like Tony can go through. Hopefully, once he thinks, okay, I can't properly run anymore, so I need to just go for helping to build up the ball, helping the other players around me get into good positions, and I can be that last man, that final pass, and then they'll find me in the box, And for me, I'm so excited. If we're gonna get Ivan Tony Broski, I'm so excited. I'm ready for that. Bring Ivan Tony to the carpet, bro. Bring him to the carpet. What are your thoughts, man, on Ivan Tony, bro?
Do you know, I love Ivan Tony, and do you know, I think what I like, sometimes you get strikers in the league that kind of flatter to deceive. They do well against a couple, and then they're like, oh, it's not all that. But I've seen Tony do it at big grounds, man. Let's not forget Etihad when he got that double. Brentford won there. I think they played Liverpool last season, bossing it. He was barging Van Dijk, backheel, and he gives you what Harry Kane does to an extent, in the sense of can drop off, give you a free ball. Not the quickest, but brings players in. And that's what our style is about with Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, and a lot of them. So I can see that move happening. Now, in terms of if we will get him in January, I think it all depends on where we're at that stage of the season. I think my personal belief is that I think they more want Evan Ferguson than Tony. Because I kind of look at Evan Ferguson and I feel like he suits the blueprint of what Arsenal are trying to do in terms of, players at an age that are quality players. And so I feel like if we're kind of, let's say City are 5-6 points ahead, I think he might look at it and go, do you know what? Is it achievable to catch him? Whatever. And he might do a pre-contract agreement with Evan Ferguson. But I feel like if we're top by 4 or 5 points like we were last season, I think that's the point where you've got to trigger it and go, do you know what? Ivan Tony bang. Because we had games last season where the lack of goals did cost us. So I do really think it's between them two. And yeah, I just think it depends where we are in the league. But listen, either one will be good because I think Ferguson's a beast anyway. For 18 years old to do what he's doing.
Bro, he's definitely a beast. He looks like a mammoth, bro. And I had to search up how tall he is because he looks mad tall.
Yeah.
I searched up. He's shorter than me.
What?
But he's 5'9". He's 5'9".
Maybe
and on the pitch, bro, he looks, because his stature, the way he stands and the way he runs, this guy's like just a mammoth, bro. He's just get out of my way, bro. The tank, physical strikers, but he's a tank. That's the word. Yeah. That is the word. And at such a young age, bro, this is the perfect time to get him. Now, God forbid what the fee is gonna be. No. God forbid what the fee is gonna be, because if Caicedo's going for that much, I don't know how much they're gonna want for this guy. This guy's an attacker. He's scoring goals for them.
Same with, I think it depends where we are. Because imagine if we got City blow it away early, we might look and go, let's already start building, as we did with Rice. I think, do you know what? Let's get this Ferguson agreed for the summer. So that's sorted striker, and you just do what you need to do after that. It will cost minimum, we know, minimum 110, 150, 120. But I think Arsenal tend to have a good relationship with Brian. I know they didn't like the Caicedo deal, but I think we tend to have an alright relationship with him. So who knows?
No, 100%, man. 100%.
I think that Caicedo. I mean, that Caicedo thing, the so-called disrespect that they felt for a bid which was equal to the one Chelsea went into initially this summer, gone. doesn't make sense to me. So I'm not sure that we really disrespected them in the way that it was reported. I just think sometimes journalists, they'll just put Arsenal in a story because they know this, they're going to get clicks, they're going to get views, and they're going to get reaction. But I think Ivan Toney's really sent out the "come get me" message to Arsenal. What would be interesting, that Diary of a CEO episode with Bartlett, was very, very interesting. What would be further interesting is the type of conversations that Ivan Toney would have had with Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka in the last meetups before he got the ban, because at that point already Arsenal had done already many months of initial work with Declan Rice, and it was already mooted and sounded around that Declan Rice was impressed with what Arsenal were doing and wanted to sign him. Now, the ban that Ivan Toney's on doesn't stop him from picking up the phone and having a chat with Declan Rice, having a chat with Bukayo Saka, asked them about the team. We know he's a Liverpool fan, but he's made it very clear that he likes the way Arsenal play. I just think, depending on which phase Arteta thinks the squad is at, Ivan Toney seems to me to be the type of signing for a phase a lot further down the line, phase 4 or 5, as opposed to a phase 3, for example. And I think that might be the difference between who he goes for in Ferguson or in Toney. If he thinks, okay, pièce de résistance, cherry on top of the cake, Ivan Toney, that finishes it. No more excuses, no more big signings, just to add, sensibly with each transfer window, then Ivan Toney's the guy. And Ivan Toney is the guy for the next 4 years. And if it's not the situation and he thinks that he still needs some more time to build, and he still looks at Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah as the main source for goals, then maybe Ferguson is the one that gets signed. Personally, if I was to have to pick one, I would hope that we are at the stage where Ivan Toney gets picked. I think everything seems to show that Arteta is now looking at changing the way that we play. Personnel being used in different positions. The type of play not necessarily being exactly the same as the start of last season, but the results being ironically the same or better at this stage. So I think with Arteta being in a sort of variety mode, what he needs is a variety up front. And, either one of them works, but I think Ivan Toney stands out ahead of Ferguson.
No, 100%. And you know what? Just moving on to, because we'll finally move on to the game, which we wanted to talk about today, which was Arsenal versus PSV in the Champions League. Now, I just want to go through, obviously, their place in the Eredivisie at the moment, because they're actually sitting top of the table. Now, they are joint in points with FC 20 and AZ as well. But when it comes to their games as well, they played Rangers in the qualifiers and smacked them 5-1, man, at home. Obviously, we know the figures we know about PSV because we played against them last time. And that was in Europa League. Going to their ground was no easy feat. We had to go there, try get a win. We left there. It was 0-0, wasn't it? Or was it 1-1?
It was a draw.
Yeah,
it was a draw.
It was a draw, wasn't it?
It was a score or no score.
I know it was a draw. I just can't remember the scoreline. But the thing with this game is the one thing that they're missing is the players that they had last season. Xavi Simons is not there anymore. He was I mean, I was there at the the game at the Emirates, and this guy is just twisting and turning, bro. Quick feet. You know, he moves hella fast, man. So you're looking at him and he's just like moving from side to side, bro. It's even faster in real life. And Cody Gakpo,
Mm.
they're missing both of those players. Now they have Hervin Lozano at the club, I think now.
He's
They have
back, yeah.
Lozano there.
Yeah, he's back.
Lozano is he can be dangerous, man. On that attack, he can be dangerous. He's a pacey player. Likes to run in behind, likes to even carry the ball and dribble it, man. So for me, it's an interesting opponent to start off with. Like, not gonna say that they're gonna set the world alight or anything, but I expect us to fully come into this game confident, given that we're home. I would have preferred to have the away fixture first, to be honest, just to get our experience going out to these teams. Obviously, the Europa League, yeah, we've done it already, but the Champions League is just different. You know
Mm.
how it's different. I feel like this game is going to be different to the one that was in the Europa League, where it's got a different feeling. It's got a different meaning to it, bro. Because maybe in the Europa League, as bad as it sounds, the players might not really care too much. But this is the Champions League now. Yeah, this is the best of the best. The cream of the crop are in this tournament. So you need to try your best. But what are your thoughts on PSV, man? We'll start with Matt, and then we'll go to Rashid after.
Do you know what? Like, first of all, I'm excited. Like, I'm sure you guys, like, it's been a long time coming. I've been dealing with them Spurs fans when they were in it, hammering us. Remember them days we were in Europe? I couldn't say nothing. But now we're here. Like, I'm excited, mad excited. I think our group looks good. I know what you're saying about away game first, but I like the home game first. I like because we've got a good vibe, a good thing going at the moment. And I feel like first game in the Emirates Champions, I just imagine atmosphere tomorrow will be mad. If their players can't get up for this game, then I'm really worried for them. PSV, as you said, lost a few players, but I watched that game against Rangers and they absolutely popped them. I'm not, Rangers are not the best, but they've got a winger called, I don't know his first name, but Bakayoko. And he's quite... I watched him rip up the fullback. I know the fullback at Rangers is a bit old as well, Barisic, but he absolutely tore him apart. Great delivery as well. Got a good shot. And I think the other concern for me is I think they've got, is it Luke De Jong, if I'm correct?
I think
Yeah,
so.
they do.
Yeah. And someone like him, you just can't give away set pieces. I think that's the biggest key tomorrow. Like, if we can avoid giving away set pieces, and if we play our game and don't be silly, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't beat them. And not just beat them 1-0. I'm talking like a good 3-0. A good 3. That's what I want to see tomorrow, you know. But I think we should beat them. And it's important to win all our home games because I think we've got, towards the end, I think it'll be PSV last game away, I think, and then Lens at home. But I want to get to that 5th game having dealt with qualification. I don't want to do the Arsene Wenger days when we're on the last game of the thing and we're trying to rotate Premier League team for this and... No, none of that. This time, demolish them, get the group done early, rest up, and you go again. Like, but I'm still, as you can see, I'm mad excited. I can't stop smiling.
You know, one player that they do. Sorry, Rashid, before you go, you know, one player that does kind of concern me though is Bella Kocha. He's a tricky centre back because I feel like he's a very good centre back for his age, and that's going to be good experience for him in the Champions League. Obviously, he's on loan from Southampton, isn't he? To PSV. So, listen, if he shows out in the Champions League, man, I feel like there's gonna be money signs, man. Money signs. Yeah, 100% money signs, man.
Is this is Ruud van Nistelrooy's first time managing in the Champions League, correct?
In the Champions League, yeah.
So there's that dynamic as well. I think he did well in the Europa League against us. I know we got over the line with them, but I saw quite a few. I've seen quite a few things from Van Nistelrooy that I quite respect. If you think about the type of teams he's played for, Real Madrid and Manchester United, and the type of managers he's had, and what he's learned over time. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen his interview, long form interview with Gary Neville on the overlap, I think it is. Yeah, it's very insightful with regards to him. I think just general, he's potentially up and coming manager. He could do well. You might see him on these shores in the not too distant future. I think with PSV Eindhoven, though, we do need to be very, very careful. We need to respect the opponent. I think they are dangerous. I expect them to be very organised when they come to the Emirates. What I do think should be the difference for me is, again, down the wings. But I do think I'm hoping that Gabriel Jesus as well will be the difference. I think that type of player against Eindhoven will be the thing that kind of stretches the defenses, gets them out of their shape, makes things uncomfortable for them, and helps with players such as like Saka and Trossard overlapping and getting chances and hopefully converting them as well. The other thing is the crowd, as you were saying, Matt. I think the 12th man tomorrow is hugely important. We should be the next two games should be electric in terms of atmosphere at the Emirates. We've got the North London derby on Sunday, and we've got the first match in the Champions League since March 2017. It doesn't need any more ramping up. It does it for itself. So I think I personally disagree with you, Sad. I want the first game to be at home because I want momentum to be built. Because I think that with Arsenal, a lot of where we end up in this campaign over these 4 competitions will be about the momentum that we are able to generate. So I'm happy that we're at home, and I do think we really need to make it count. And Matt, I'm with you. I'm hoping for one thing. I'm definitely hoping for is a clean sheet, because I want us to have some level of dominance in Europe when it becomes very difficult for a team to score against us. And I've said this before, we have not made the Emirates a fortress yet under anyone really since we moved there, Wenger, Emery, or Arteta. I want us to be able to make the Emirates a fortress there and make it very difficult for these teams. And I want this campaign to be the start of us cementing ourselves as an actual European powerhouse. There's a lot riding on this. Not to put any pressure on the players, because it's not their fault that it's been so many years in the wilderness, but on the club, the guys, who make the big decisions, they know that we've been out of this competition for too long, and for us to make up, we've got to make up very, very big and impactful this season. So I want us to be very difficult to beat. I want us to be compact where we need to be compact. I want us to be clinical. I want us to be dominating possession, dominating the pace of the game. And I want us to be winning about 2 or 3-0. I don't want to see no goals conceded. And just to, I'm not really one to add to this sort of whole Raya versus Ramsdale thing, but I just think that see how both of them have performed so far this season, I hope to see Raya in the back starting for Arsenal.
What's this one?
I'm just gonna quickly do this one as well, just the comments. Okay. So Muhammad says Saibari is gonna cook us, but still an Arsenal win. I think he's their cam. He plays cam for them.
Yeah, I think he's the one that scored. I think he scored 2 in the last game.
Yeah. And he said, would you guys prefer to reach the latter stages of the Champions League or exit early and go for the Europa League and win it?
None of that exit early stuff.
I don't like the question. I don't like the question. Mohammed, my brother, I've said, sorry to interject, brothers. I've said this. I will just about accept quarterfinals with Arsenal in the Champions League. I'll just about accept that. We have not set ourselves out as a European powerhouse ever. We really haven't. The times when we had the opportunity to do so, we missed out on them. For my calculations, we should be 2 Europa Leagues and 1 Champions League up. We're not. Yeah, in the last 20 years, that's how many European titles we should have won. Yeah, or we haven't. So I would say that, Mohammed, thanks for the comment, but no early exit in the Champions League. None.
It's a no.
It's a no.
It's a no. I can't be doing that, man. I can't be having us leaving the competition early, man. I just can't handle something like that again.
With due respect to the other groups, to the other teams in the group, we shouldn't be struggling to get out of this group.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. No way.
Yes, it should be an easy group. I think we should walk it. Genuinely, the only team that should really give us I know what you're just about to say it. The only team that should really give us trouble is Sevilla. The only team.
But you know what? Even I think at home, I think we should be good against them. That's why I can't sure.
He's trolling now. Mohammed's trolling, wallah.
I'm happy to answer that question. I don't think we're in that position.
Oh, he's lagged out for a second there.
No, I think in terms of that, like
listen, trophy. When a club gets over the line for a European trophy, it builds something into the DNA of that club. Yeah. It's been done before. You'll have remnants of those who've done it before. They'll be the ones who drag, the players in the next competition or the next phase of the competition who've never done it before over the line. That experience will do that. We don't have that at Arsenal. So we're going to have to do it the hard way. Yeah. So for me, I'm not saying that we're going to win the Champions League this season. My heart is saying that I want Arsenal to win the Champions League this season. I don't think we're going to win the Champions League this season. I know that in terms of Europe, it's a bigger process than us domestically. We're far behind on our European process than we are on the domestic process. It's not really the talk, I think, right now for Champions League winners' medals yet. Don't take me wrong. If it happens to be the case that we end up winning at Wembley this season,
No. You don't want to see it if we win, bro. I might actually be knee sliding, bro. You have me looking like Dallo, bro. Sliding. God. But you know what, guys? Yeah, just to give a quick update. Let me just go through the halftime scores for the Champions League games for tonight. And I just want to start off with the first one that surprised me a little bit. Man City versus Red Star Belgrade. 1-0 to Red Star Belgrade at halftime. Speaking of the Champions League champions, they're losing 1-0. Now we can laugh now, but most probably they'll come out in the second half.
Imagine Pep in the changing room at halftime.
That's nothing with City. I don't even think the manager has to say. Like, I think we all said about the players that have kind of been. I think City, you can imagine Pep doesn't have to say anything. Like Rodri probably comes in and Diaz, and they do all the talking, and they're gonna come out now probably and go ham and win 5-1. And I think
you're right. You're right. Sorry to interrupt. There's an interview. There's a short clip I've seen on social media of Kyle Walker talking about when he left Tottenham. Obviously, he said I didn't win nothing with Tottenham. And he said, when I came to City, I had Company, I had Aguero, and those guys, they had done it before. They helped me to get my first medals. And he said, now me being a senior player, I want to be able to help the Gvardiols, those guys who've come in and filled in the places of those who have left in order for them to, and see that it's just like, that's like legacy building.
Right.
Consistently, one season to the next. Yeah? This is a team where you expect to be competitive in every competition that they are involved in. We aim to be like that. We clearly are trying to aim to be like that. The years that Arteta has spent with Pep has rubbed off on him. He doesn't want to be also ran. He doesn't want to be like a one season wonder. He wants to be take time. So yeah, you can. I wouldn't be surprised if that score gets reversed and it ends up like 3-1 at the end of the match.
Also, just to go through the other scores. So obviously, Milan, Newcastle, AC Milan. Listen, that finished 0-0. I think genuinely managed. They genuinely managed to get out of there. Luckily, because Milan, I don't know how they did not finish some of those chances. And
Rafael
Rafael Leao, for some of those chances, I'm like, bro, just shoot, man.
Yeah.
Just shoot. There's sometimes there's too much dribbling. You know when there's too much dribbling, like you don't need to be dribbling that much, broski. Just shoot the damn ball, and it will go into the goal, man. But obviously they drew 0-0 in that game, and that's massive for them going to the following fixture with Milan, where they have to go to St James's Park now. They have the one up on them, because I feel like that could get interesting when they go to St James's Park. That's not going to be an easy game for them. And RB Leipzig beat Young Boys 3-1. PSG and Dortmund is currently 0-0 at half time. Shakhtar Donetsk is losing 3-1 to Porto. Atletico Madrid is winning 1-0 against Lazio. Pablo Barrios with the goal. And Feyenoord is winning 1-0 against Celtic. And Barcelona against Antwerp. We knew that was going to be... I don't know who would have thought that wasn't going to be a smacking. Barcelona winning 3-0 against Antwerp. Maybe if they go to the Antwerp Stadium, which I've heard is a very hostile place to go to, that could be interesting. But at home, Barcelona, the new camp, they're not going to be losing.
João Felix is one of the goals as well. Yeah, looks like he's settled in.
Am I correct in thinking Antwerp is the same team where they got Vertonghen and Alderweireld as the centre backs? I think.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No one.
It's from Belgium.
No wonder.
But moving back to our game, I just want to finish off the stream. I want to get score predictions and your predicted lineup. What you would go with? What lineup you would pick? And we'll start off with Matt, and then we'll go to, and then I'll finish it off at the end. We'll go to Rashid.
My heart or my head is saying like a 3-0 convincing clean sheet. I know Rashid really wants a clean sheet. I'm like him. I love a clean sheet at home. It's beautiful. But my heart's saying we'll concede one. But I think we'll kind of won the game already. But annoying concede for no reason. I think like a 3-1 win. And like Rashid said again, I think Raya in goal. I know a lot of people say they want Ramsdale back, but I think as a goalkeeper, you need a bit of rhythm. Even if you're not going to let him play the whole season, give him the Champions League game. And listen, if he plays well in this one, North London derby as well, like you got to do it. So I'll start him. Same back four against we play against Everton, our normal back four. Midfield, we'll do Rice. We've got Odi. Now, a lot of people are gonna think I'm a bit mad with this one. I would put Havertz in there because I just think. Do you know what it is? I just think. Listen, if I'm writing this, it's a miracle. But I think Champions League is going to show up. I genuinely think in the Champions League is going to show up. Because you know what? I look at the Premier League and sometimes it's so hustle and bustle for him. And his style of football is very languid. He looks like he's not interested. All right, he doesn't score the most goals, but I think he's going to come alive in the Champions League. I'm going to say it now. If he starts tomorrow, he scores. Oh, my God. One. But no, I honestly believe you do a job tomorrow. I think Champions League, because I think he's going to have, he's getting the stress of Premier League where you're not doing this, 0-0-5, you haven't scored, whatever. But I think Champions League will do all right. And then up top, Jesus has to start tomorrow against PSV. And then obviously Saka, and probably Trossard up top. So I think, should be a convincing one. And going with that team. Sorry.
Have they ever played together? Jesus and I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here for the last half an hour. I'm trying to rattle my brain. Have Jesus and Trossard played together? I can't remember a game that they have. I've been thinking about it for the last 20 minutes. I'm
Not
like,
start,
have they?
not starting. Probably off the bench, Trossard. But I
Yeah.
don't think. No, I don't. No,
See,
you're right.
that's gonna be interesting seeing them two play together and how they are both players that like to interchange between positions in that front three. So it's going to be interesting for me to see how they play together. You know what I
But
mean? Like, because
at that though with Trossard. Sorry, before Rashid. Sorry, Rashid.
no, no,
I think players like Trossard, you need in a game like this because sometimes European football, it's not about having fast wingers. You can have fast wingers, but there's some fullbacks that up here they're too astute for that. So sometimes you need a little nifty player. So you need someone like a Trossard that goes to Gabriel Jesus. Let's swap. Let me jump into the false nine, drop deep, find a free ball, and you know you're talking about Bella Kotchap. He might pull him away, give him a what's this? Oh no, this I don't even want to read
Mohammed's back.
that, you know. But no, I do think Trossard will make a difference, and I'm excited. I'm gonna go with it 4-1. I'm saying actually change it from 3-1. 4-1. I'm going with.
Would you? All right. Would just go to Rashid and then after Rashid, I'll read the comment out and then we can quickly speak before I give my take on it.
You know what? I think it's a mad one because I just think actually the team kind of picks itself due to players that are available. So I actually have the same team as Matt, and I think that Havertz plays slightly because I think this type of pacer game in the Champions League suits him better. And for the same reasons, Trossard starts, but obviously, like I said earlier, Trossard's in a good moment. So I think he has to start. And I do think that Eddie Nketiah's done nothing wrong. I just think that Gabriel Jesus is fit, therefore he starts. And my prediction is, I think it's going to be closer. I would like it to be a 2-0 win. That's what I think it's going to be. Clean sheet settings.
Now, fair enough, man. Fair enough. I want a clean sheet as well, man. But I'm just quickly gonna go to the comment. He said, not sure if you guys discussed it, but do you see Ramsdale back in goal for our Champions League games? If so, could this be the smart Ramsdale, the start of Ramsdale becoming our cup keeper?
I think Raya starts tomorrow. I just think, you know, sometimes your goalkeeper build up a bit of confidence, and it's just a good opportunity for Raya to get another game. And I just said to Rashid, if he plays well in this one, give him a North London derby as well. I know people are saying, oh, it's harsh on Ramsdale. Listen, it's a cutthroat industry football, you know what I mean? And it's a results business. So if Raya goes in and gets us the wins with them vital saves, I'm all for it. And listen, people that have been watching my podcast for a while know what I think about Ramsdale. I don't hate him, but there are things he could improve on. So I think it's time to see Raya for a bit, definitely.
No, the thing is, I'm kind of on the situation, or I'm kind of in the thoughts of you can't expect us to be having Ramsdale and Raya and only having one first team keeper or the number one. I think what Mikel Arteta is trying to do, and we saw in his press conference, he said he would, you know, sub a keeper on it, God knows, the 75th minute or something like that. And even for that, like, for me, it's not even about having a number one keeper. It's about, we know that Mikel Arteta is trying to eradicate that. Oh, I have one player that's my main player, and then I have the secondary player if shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
For him, I feel like between Raya and Ramsdale, he's literally going to split the games. He's going to give a bunch of games to Raya, and he's going to sit Raya on the bench for a bit, and he's going to play Ramsdale for a bunch of games, and he's going to then put a fullback on Raya, and then. But if we do get to the last stage of the Champions League, that will be interesting to see who plays in that position. Because the thing is, I think we don't know what Raya's like at home because he hasn't played a home game yet. We may see him possibly tomorrow at his first home game. But also, when it comes to Ramsdale, he thrives off of playing away from home. So that's also something that can be used to our advantage. He thrives off playing away from home. He likes playing away games.
Yeah.
That's where you get the best out of him. At home, for some weird reason, he starts to lose focus. But
He gets
away,
game. As I said to someone, I feel like, and I'm not saying he's like he's same ability as Pickford. I think he's better than Pickford. I think the issue with Ramsdale, he's got that thing of sometimes the passion gets too much, and I feel like with the young team we have, we need a goalkeeper that just kind of just calms us down. You know, when the going's getting tough, and you know, we need someone that calms us down, which is why I think I'd give Ray a bit of time. But it's going to be interesting, the lineup. Whoever it is, just get the win. Come on.
no, I'm telling you, and even the fact that the lineup is going to be an interesting lineup. But for me, the main thing with Ramsdale is that he this guy has come out and said that he loses focus sometimes. I just feel like, bro, if you're my keeper, firstly, who is your representative? Who's your assistant? Who's your assistant? Why are they letting you do these podcasts? Firstly, that's number one. Yeah, I understand exposure and trying to make your brand bigger and that, but bro, just come off the podcast, please, because this guy's coming out and saying stuff like, "I lose focus when I'm on the pitch. Sometimes I can't focus for the full 90 minutes." I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear that. Because for me, the goalkeeper is supposed to be the most important player. He's the one who sees everything. It's like a canvas for him. He's supposed to be able to read the game and understand when he needs to come out, understand when he needs to stay back, understand when he needs to come out for a little pass with the centre back. The centre back's having trouble and can't find the pass. So it's just, I can't be having my keeper not concentrating for the full game. You know what I mean? It's just it's surprising why he'd come out and say something like that. It's crazy. But I know you were gonna say something, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say. I said I like them podcasts with the players because I think it brings a sense of realism. You know, because sometimes there's that distance between fans and players, and you know sometimes when you hear a player say, "Oh, this is how I felt," you think, "Oh, like they are like normal people." You know what I mean? But I do agree. I do feel like, yes, sometimes it can be a bit too much. And yeah, he just needs to focus on his game more. Now, David Raya hopefully improves him because I see what Arteta wants from Ramsdale. Is, you know, we've got this core of young players now, and he wants a great young keeper, and, you know, that hopefully emulates Seaman, you know, legend at the club. And I get it. But when you want to get better, and this is a results business, as I said, if Raya's performing, he goes and goal. End the story. And then if the rumours are right, they're saying Bayern and Chelsea are linked with Ramsdale. If you want to keep Raya and then go and buy, I don't know, another world-class goalkeeper, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, I just want what's best for the club. I can love the player as much as I want, but Ramsdale's had moments where, you know, I don't want to go back too deep, but last season, Southampton at home, he's had the games where he'll miss kick and this and that. And like you said, he loses focus. If you're going to lose focus as a goalkeeper, the defense are going to panic. And we don't want that. You want someone that steadies the ship, which is why Liverpool obviously get better. Alisson, Edison, them type of goalkeepers command the box. And that's a big aspect of Ramsdale's game where he has to really, really improve.
Rashid, I'm just going to read it out to you, bro, because I know you were away for a second. So he said, not sure if you guys discussed it, but do you see Ramsdale back in goal for our Champions League games? If so, could this be the start of Ramsdale becoming our cup keeper?
Look, Mohammed, I think there's a few things about the whole Ramsdale situation. Ramsdale wasn't Arteta's first choice when Arteta was looking for a new goalkeeper. Raya was. We couldn't get Raya back then. We've now got him now. Raya is 3 years older than Ramsdale, which in football terms for a goalkeeper is over 100 games more played than Ramsdale if they both started, for example, at the same age professionally. Yeah, that's a huge amount of games. That's a huge amount of experience. The profile of the players are both slightly different. Ramsdale has a ceiling which he's not reached, and I think there are some similarities with the position that we find Emil Smith Rowe currently with with his game time compared to Ramsdale. Ramsdale has has shown his weaknesses. At times, he's even talked about it. You guys have expressed. Arteta wants more from him. Ramsdale seems to actually be. Someone said this. I forget who it was, but I do tend to agree. Ramsdale seems to perform better away from home than actually the Emirates. I think that atmosphere suits him better. And maybe perhaps he does have to be on his toes more because you are playing in someone else's backyard. Arteta said about Emil Smith Rowe that he knows what he needs to do to get into the squad. Ramsdale knows as well. So this is the gauntlet that's been thrown down by a manager who has said he wants to have two quality players for each position. So that doesn't exclude the goalkeepers. I do think that Rams improve.
Rashid, your connection's going out a bit. Your connection's going out a bit, bro. I think there's a mad delay. Rashid, can you hear me? There's a mad delay. He's been cut off. No, but I agree. Oh, is he coming back?
What?
I'll remove him. Rashid, you might have to come out and go back in, bro. Reset your connection, bro. But listen, I completely agree with what he was saying in regards to the fact that Ramsdale wasn't the main guy that Arteta was after, or Arteta was going after. He wasn't the main target. He wasn't the main guy that he wanted at first. Raya was. So, but the only thing is, obviously, for me, like he said, the age difference. Ramsdale, in keeper's terms, a baby, bro. He's a baby, newborn. Because keepers at 23, they're still learning the ropes. They're still trying to learn what they can do in the future. You know what I mean? Once they get to 26, 27, 28, where Riot is, that's when they really start to get into that. But to be honest, Riot might not even reach this prime because the prime years are not even the 27s, the 28s. I think it's 29s, 30s, because they really, a goalkeeper really strives and really elevates himself when he's in his late 20s to early 30s. That's when a goalkeeper is at his best because he's had the experience of watching for a while and being a goalkeeper for a while and being able to read the game, and they learn how to read the game. And listen, I think Gianluigi Buffon, he's the perfect example, bro. This guy was at the top level for years. Years. I think he was like 30, 38, 39 when he stopped, didn't he?
Not
when
even.
he officially left.
I think maybe even older than that. Maybe like 40, 41. Because I think he went Parma, didn't he?
Yeah, I was thinking when he left Juventus.
He left Juve. When I think they go PSG, innit? PSG, and then
he left. I'm just gonna double check it. Juventus. Oh wow. He left at 45.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mad, yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. You see, and the thing is, for a goalkeeper to leave like that, it's crazy. It's crazy how he can leave like that.
Absolutely mad.
And yeah, apologies, mate. My freaking whole system went down, man. What's going on here? Okay, I think it's okay. I think it's working now.
All good?
Oh, the whole system's gone, but I'll look at you guys here because the whole system's got tits up, man. But yeah, no, I appreciate you, Mohammed, man. I appreciate you for turning up, man. I appreciate you for coming through, man, and giving us questions also, and obviously being able to chat with us. Matt, thank you very much for joining me. I didn't even actually wait. I didn't even give my prediction and
Oh yeah,
my whole. I didn't do that. But let me just quickly. Let me see if I can fix this quickly, because actually I just need to give you my predictions quickly. Okay, it's completely gone off. So my prediction for the actual game, I think it might be a 3-0. I think it's going to be a 3-0. I don't think it's going to be a hard game for us necessarily with PSV. Yeah, I feel like we can beat them easily, given that they don't have that many players that can really come through and hit like how and apart from obviously Bakayoko, you were saying that was playing for them, and obviously what's his name, and Luke De Jong as well.
as long as we're avoiding
they
the
have.
piece, it should be all right.
But
I think we'll be comfortable.
yeah, but the thing is, yeah, the thing is with Arsenal, it's just holding or keeping that clean sheet. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yes.
the main thing for me. I want you to keep that clean sheet. Do
Mm.
not sit there and tell me that you're gonna concede a goal in the 80 something minute, because I don't want that. I can't be having you conceding a goal, man. It's not working out for me.
It's
So
true.
I want to be scoring a goal. There we go. It's actually worked. So I want to be there, winning the game comfortably. I want it to be 3-0. We win it comfortably. And my starting 11 that I'd go with, I wouldn't play Havertz. I know you said pretty much the same team as you, apart from I'm not playing Havertz. No way I'm playing Havertz. There's no way I'm playing Havertz. I'm gonna play my boy Fabio Vieira. He's sticking in that position. He's played very well. This is his season. I called it. I'm gonna call it again, man. This is his season, man. This is his season, man. But anyway, that's my take on it. He was just finishing. Rashid just finished off his thing. He said Ryan go. I think Arteta has clearly always wanted him as his number one. He said Ramsdale would get better over time.
Yeah.
He said, sorry, I couldn't get back into the stream collection. Gremlins all day long. And then he said, we need a clean sheet. We need to make the Emirates a fortress, make European teams make home advantage count. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly. Anyway, so thank you very much for joining me. Rashid, thank you very much for joining me. Matt, thank you very much for joining me on the channel. I appreciate it. Guys, their links are in the description. I've put both of their channel links in the description. Make sure to like their videos. Make sure to subscribe to their channel. Matt does a really good podcast on there. So does Rashid on his channel. He does a very good podcast. So make sure to go and hit the like button on their stream, and make sure to subscribe to their channel. And subscribe to this channel as well. Hit the like button. And make sure to tune in, man. Make sure to tune in. We are doing a watch along tomorrow. And thank you very much, guys, for tuning in with us. Thank you very much, Rashid and Matt. Thank you very much, people. We love you all.
Love. Thanks for having me on. Cheers.